Myself, Dr. Sneha Kumbhani from Parul Institute of Physiotherapy welcomes you all on the occasion of World Physiotherapy Day 2020. Today's the topic of the webinar is importance of ergonomics. So I would like to introduce our presenter, Dr. Dipankar Das. Sir has completed his Master of Physiotherapy into Cardiopulmonary, and Sir is a workplace wellness coach, and he is an author of Amazon bestseller book Ergonomics for the Corporates. Sir is the member of Indian Society of Ergonomics and head of the ergonomics training at the Max Healthcare. He is the founder of Physio Ergo, which is a leading specialty physiotherapy and the ergonomics clinic at Gurugram. Sir has conducted ergonomic assessment and the training programs at 150 organizations and addressed over 80,000 people. He is also working very actively with the schools to ensure postural correction into the students. Dr. Dipankar is widely published in the trade journals, news diaries, and the online blogs as a leading voice of ergonomics. So now, without wasting much time, we would like to hear from you. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sneha. Shall we wait for some more people to join in, or shall we start?
So we can start there. They'll be joining.
Okay. Let me just share my screen. Yeah. So today's topic is industrial ergonomics. So importance of ergonomics in this in the industries. So 1 second. This I've Dr. Sneha has already covered this about my. So I'm on a mission to help 100,000 professionals to live a pain-free lifestyle by transforming their postures using ergonomic science. So let us first understand what is ergonomics means. Like if we divide into two parts, if we split this ergonomics word into two parts, ergon means work and nomics is the laws of work. So it's a kind of a interaction between human and their surrounding area, how they can make their workplace comfortable and more suitable for their body, right? So if you design good ergonomic, if you have the good ergonomic design, which can further reduce all kind of risk factors, lifestyle disorders, so-called, and it will definitely improve your productivity and efficiency. So there are two types of. So let me tell you. So this session will be a kind of a more of. So I'm a big fan of doing all practical sessions. So I don't do one-way gyan and all that. So I want everyone to interact, and everyone should write it in a chat box whenever it's needed, right? So, so first is reactive ergonomics. There are a couple of risk factors involved in the industries. So I'm not talking about the people who are have a sedentary job in the sense sitting job, right? So I'm only concerned about this of the industries who have maybe a standing job or maybe lifting or maybe assembly line or any kind of factories, right? So there are a couple of risk factors which are involved, like force, repetitions, and the awkward postures, which leads to musculoskeletal problems. Individual risk factors on the individual level. So it can be poor work practices. Maybe somebody is not doing correctly, somebody is not lifting properly, poor fitness. Most of the people are not doing any kind of physical exercises, and poor health habits. So that also leads to musculoskeletal disorders. So what is proactive ergonomics, which is at the organization level? So which is engineering controls, administrative controls, something like some companies have installed, have automation installed, have some other products, AI involved, and then AR, MR, augmented reality, virtual reality, they have installed at the organization level. So they have also implemented some ergonomic programs also on the weekly or monthly basis. That depends on company to company. So that is also taking care from the companies who are actually taking care of their employees and taking this ergonomic science very, very seriously. So on the individual control levels, so some people are actually doing some marathon running, early intervention. So whenever they feel some kind of injury or some kind of pain, so they they actually inform their HR admin कि मुझे यहाँ पे पेन है, मुझे वहाँ पे पेन है, and I have सब developed this kind of symptoms. मुझे आई स्ट्रेन हो रहा है, मुझे लिफ्टिंग की वजह से स्लिप डिस्क होने के चांसेस हो सकते हैं. So that needs education, that needs awareness, right? So so this is how this can be. So let's share with let me just explain this very with one beautiful this picture which I've got from Google. So this is on the x-axis you will see this musculoskeletal loss of function, pain, discomfort, and fatigue, right? On this y-axis, ergonomic risk factors and the individual risk factors, which we have already covered. So if you see the red mark, if you see this red mark, the moment all those ergonomic risk factors and the individual risk factors combine, so definitely this shoot up to your musculoskeletal disorders. For example, if somebody is sitting for a long period of time in the awkward postures and he doesn't do any kind of physical activity, so then the high chances of having this musculoskeletal disorders, right? Or let's say another case, ergonomic risk factor can be high repetition, so repetitive task, maybe from, it can be heavy weight, it can be light weight. एक ग्राम का वेट यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ पे डालना, that is also a repetition, right? So repetition, if the repetition is high, this can lead to, and there is no individual risk factors, this can lead to fatigue. Start with fatigue, then later on it can develop to musculoskeletal disorders. So these are the real problems nowadays, lifestyle issues. So this can be in the corporate, this can be in the industries. I mean, lower back pain, neck pain, carpal tunnel syndromes, and then all those shoulder pain, slip disc, tendinitis, tennis elbow, wrist pain. I want you to answer this. How many of you are actually having any kind of these issues? Let me see how many of you have any kind of lifestyle disorders. So write it in the chat box. Anyone having a back pain? Hello?
So they would not be able to write.
Acha, so chat is not okay. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me know if the screen is visible, right? Visible?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, perfect. So these are the lifestyle disorders. So so if the chat is not visible, chat is not enabled, so I think I have to do it one way. So okay. So let's see how I can make this more interactive, how I can make this more value addition to the people, to the viewers. So the topic is industrial ergonomics workstation design checklist. So these are the checklists which involve in the industries like ergonomic lifting, lifting ergonomics, material handling design, how to lift the, how to handle the material, how to lift the materials, and ergonomic workstation designing. So it can be sitting, it can be standing workstation, right? And ergonomic hand tool design. So it can be any tool. A screwdriver be how you can make it more user friendly. You make it more easy to make people understand and use it very easily. Fourth is ergonomic visual displays, it can be computer visions. I mean, it can be your area where the lighting is required, any visual displays is required, as in laptops or computers, and ergonomic controls, I mean switches and all that. So let's see one by one. Ergonomic lifting and material handling design. So this is very, very important. Because of this, people might face slip disc and all that. So 3-4 years back, I was doing a session in the Snapdeal warehouse where all the people were having, I mean, the audience, no, sorry, the employees were all youngsters, less than 18 age, all the youngsters people. But the thing is, the chances of, if they actually understand the right way to use, hold and lift the object, so definitely they can prevent any kind of slip disc and back pain injuries. Though some people have complained that उनको यहाँ पे pain हो रहा है because of this heavy lifting, हम उसको truck में load करते हैं, because of that we face some kind of challenges. But yes, they are ignoring just because they are not having that much of pain. So ergonomics so the benefit of ergonomics is when you are not in pain, so you have to consult there then itself. So next is ergonomic workstation design. So it can be like, so there are a couple of questions which is required if the person is standing. So if you see closely in this picture, this guy or everybody is sitting on the footrest, the seat is very much heighted according to the table, according to the work they are doing. So these are the questions we generally ask to the client. Can the worker be seated on a sit stand option be provided if the height of the workstation is adjustable, there is the proper lighting, are there people are working in a static postures, are the people are sitting all the day. So these kind of questions we need to ask in any of the industries. So one setup is not comfortable, is not valuable for everyone. So it can be, like I say, one size doesn't fit for all. Similarly, one ergonomic program cannot be fit into all the industries. So that depends on companies to companies on various factors. Next is ergonomic hand tool design. So if you see, there some companies are doing very minute work. Some companies does very hard vibration tool job, right? So we need to ask them, are your hand tool powered with where feasible? Are your hand tools operate with straight wrist position? The wrist has to be neutral positions, right? Are your hand tools equipped handle shape to contact as much as of the hand and the finger as possible? Are hand tools designed to keep vibrations? So some of these questions related to the hand design. So that's how you see in and around yourself. If you see any of the product which are actually designed according to your comfort. So if you closely observe, your door handle is ergonomically designed, your smartphone is ergonomically designed, your pillow, your mattress, your car seat, everything is ergonomically designed just to make user friendly and more comfortable for the users. So ergonomic visual displays, if you see, so what is the simple modification they have done, right? So if you see in this before, so he's bending his neck. Because of that, he might face some challenges later in the neck region. All he has to do is he has to just raise this level and increase the angle, increase the level of this height of this microscope. That's how. So that's how he can. So this guy can work comfortably without hurting this neck, right? So there has to be viewing distance. Our display is located near his corresponding controls. So everything has to be within his reach. So ergonomic controls, like if you see in this area, in this picture, so everybody, both of them are working very close to the workstations. Everything is within their reach. So you need to, so there are more than, I've just listed very few pointers, but there are more than 15 pointers in this particular slide, right? So some are our foot controls used for power, right? Our lever used for continuous adjustment, our hand controls used for precision and speed, our controls labeled clearly, so whether they can easily see the controls. So these are the things you need to actually assess. Then only you can make it more successful in that particular organization. So ergonomic control methods, which is workstation design setup, ergonomically designed tools, which we have covered, and ergonomically designed equipment, load weight reductions. Okay. So what is the solution? So if you see closely, this guy has taken a small stool. This guy is standing on this staircase. This is again, so by keeping this, if you are holding anything, let's say Pepsi, Coca-Cola bottles and all that, so how you are actually lifting and dragging that table, that tray. So you have to make sure all the items are within your reach to avoid the twisting movements, any of the injuries on your back and spine. And if you see closely in this area, what are the solutions? Ergonomic control methods. So anything which you are doing above the head and shoulders, the chances of hierarchy, the people will face shoulders injuries, neck injuries, and stiffness around the shoulder areas, right? So how you can reduce this by installing any of the automation, or maybe reduce the height of that particular area so that you can work easily. So assessment is very, very important before heading into that particular solution, or actually implementing any kind of ergonomic program to that particular company. So if you see this, so as everybody knows, like bending the neck for long period of time is bad for our neck. The amount of strain comes to our neck is more than 8 kgs on every 15 degrees, right? So similarly, bending for a longer period of time, gardening or maybe any kind of lifting, so the chances of a disc problem, herniated disc, or any kind of sciatica problems will increase if you actually keep doing these kind of awkward postures these kind of awkward postures. So ergonomic control methods: squatting for more than 2 hours per day, it will again hamper your knees. So there are a couple of solutions you can make, depending on the companies to company. Okay. Again, kneeling for more than, that was squatting, this is kneeling. So how you can actually adapt a certain area and certain implementations to make that employee a comfortable zone for him, so that he is not hurting his body. So if you see in this awkward body postures, what are the solutions? So this guy is doing, this is animated one, this guy is doing a repetition task. So every repetition, the end of the day, if you see 8 hours into, if he's doing a job of 8 hours, 8 hours into maximum 6 days, 6 into 8, 48 into 330, and then 365 days, which will be a lot more time, and he might face any challenges later in the future if he's not taking care of that. That's why the company has taken care whenever he is lifting. So that particular crane is lifted, automatically he can lift easily without bending his back. Similarly, in this next picture also, he has lifted. So this is how one can. So if you see in this third picture, so this guy is doing this task. So had it been agar ye trolley agar aise straight hota, so he has to bend forward and he has to pick that particular object, right? So that's how the simple ergonomic solution has made was, he has lifted at 45 degrees so that he can easily lift that particular object. Simple. So again, if you're lifting, if you're doing gardening or anything, any kind of objects, any kind of work, so use tools with a longer handles. If you are dragging anything, if you are wiping the floor, use longer handles to avoid the lever, right? So avoid the strain on your body. So you can alternate between your bending, knees, kneeling, and sitting and squatting, just to break the monotonous of or any of the static postures. So what comes, whenever it comes to industries, so some in companies has very fine work. So 1.5 years back, I was doing a session, 3 months program for the MMTC, which is a gold and silver refinery. So they have extreme work, right? So they have extreme work conditions. On the other one side, some people are working and holding 1 gram of gold or silver from one point to other, right? Simple work, right? On the other side, somebody is standing in front of the furnace of 1200 degrees of furnace and pouring that gold into that 30 kgs of that particular brick, if you can see this. So these are not the pictures of that particular company. I'm not sharing that because of the confidentiality. So on the extreme people are working. So this is how. So both of the problems, both of the scenario, people are facing the challenges, but on the different levels. So that particular person who's sitting and doing this 1 gram of work, very minute work, they can face some challenges of the grip, and then static postures. Because of this static posture, they might develop shoulder injuries. And on the other side, he was facing some major challenges because he was pouring that 65 kgs of proper gold brick, and he has to push. So that's how he might face the back injuries. So in these industries, we need to see where, so very, very minute things we need to notice, like pinch grasp and holding, and what are the tools we are using, something like that, right? So if you are holding like this and doing it repetitively, definitely anybody can, anybody can face any of the challenges of, tendon injuries, right? So these are the some of the solutions. Again, one can use ergonomically designed as tools which are actually user friendly. And if you can see this, so these are, so this is an old picture, but nowadays, so it has been, so it's so many companies have designed a beautiful ergonomically designed tools, right? So if you can see this in the butcher industry, so this guy has a lesser. He might be 6 feet and he might be 5.5. So what he has done is he has taken a stool, and if you can see this, his workstation also little higher because of his height. So again, if you see in this, if I talk about sitting job, intense, excess of typing can lead to injuries, can lead to carpal tunnel syndrome, can lead to pain in the fingers, numbness, and trigger fingers also, right? Neck pain, cervical spondylitis, and all that. If I consider this and the standing workstations, if you see this, the light work, so there has to be particular height so that he can work very comfortably. So on the other side, if he is doing a heavy work, the height has reduced, right? So that it should not strain his shoulders. So yeah, so I thought your chat is open. So are there any mistakes in this? If you can identify. Can we have any? Still, we can't do the right chat.
No, sir, they can't write.
Okay. But just observe this slide. Just observe this slide for another 10 seconds. So, which are the mistakes or maybe hazards you can see? If you can see this heavy load he is lifting on his own. If you can see this, there's a wire all around. There is no safety, spilling of the oil, and he's standing on this drums, right? And again, if you see this, and if you see this guy is doing standing and doing this work without any of the safety, right? Again, take some 10 seconds and see what you can observe in this occupational hazard in this particular factory. If you can see this is so this is again a safety issue, wires, oil or maybe water, right? So if you can see, he is not wearing any of the safety hat, safety helmet. See, कितना ज़्यादा weight उठा रहे हैं अकेले. So there's no smoking zone पे he is smoking, right? So at the fire exit level, if you say this, and there are drums, right? There might be oil drums, and on the fire exit, so they have blocked this fire exit. So these are the areas you need to see very, very closely, right? So again, ergonomics. So let's talk about lifting solutions. So lifting ergonomics. So there are simple solutions. Lifting drums. Those are not very expensive. So these are height adjustable trays, which make people, because of this can help people to make their work very, very easily, right? So you can minimize lifting distances. You can avoid manual lifting and lowering loads to and from floor. And you can identify the reduce unstable or heavy loads. So this is how you have to lift. So I would strongly suggest, whether you are doing any kind of job or maybe lifting or maybe standing or sitting. Learn this lifting techniques, right way. So there are a couple of lifting techniques which are golfers lifting for lightweight. So these are squatting, which is you have to make sure the load is very closer to your body, so that to avoid any of the, because of the center of gravity, if you hold the object अपनी body से दूर, definitely it will increase the center of gravity, and it will strain your shoulders and and your lower back. So that's how make sure your entire object is very close to your body. Again, in some industries, the mining industries or any other factories, people who work outside in extreme conditions, in the extreme weather condition, cold or hot climate, so they also have these kind of issues, vibration hand syndromes and all that. And what can be the solutions? So they can use a low vibration tools which are also already available, right? Devices that can reduce the vibrations. They should be educated enough to do adequate rest period, so that they can take exercises, do some stretching exercises, rest that particular muscles. And they can also so there's a policy called, some companies does a job rotations. So if companies implement only this part, job rotations, automatically most of the problem will be solved. बिकॉज एक ही बंदा अगर एक टाइम वही काम करता जा रहा है पिछले 1 साल से 10 साल से, या राइट व्हाटएवर, so this can lead to his particular, so the chances of his injuries will increase. So had it been, agar if the company implement a job rotation on a regular basis, and that too agar jo halka kaam hai, so wo lighter, पतला बंदा काम कर सकता है, राइट. ऑन अदर साइड अगर कोई हैवी लोड है, सो देन कोई हैवी बंदा काम कर सकता है. सो दिस इज नोन एज जॉब रोटेशंस. सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन अगेन विच वर्क is required in that particular company. So maintenance and other the safety kits, PPE kits. So again, other control methods which are actually outside, which are already mentioned: hot weather, cold weather, high temperature indoor, cold temperature indoor, and low visibility, and the lighting, which is important. So what are the challenges which are faced by every working professional nowadays, which is working from home? Because of this lockdown, and then so there's improper lighting. So there's a low productivity without even workstation. They are doing working. And working from home is the new normal, and then people are have a habit of sitting on the couches, beanbag, recliners, sofa. So because of these mistakes, many people are suffering from these kind of issues. And trust me, so these are all our man-made problems. हमारी गलतियों की वजह से, because of our own bad habits, we tend to face these challenges. So these are the mistakes which people generally do, right? So that's why I've covered some simple into work from home slides also. So levels of ergonomic risk assessment. So there are 3 levels, which are: first is you need to understand and recognize the hazard. So where particular, which we have discussed in the previous slides. So where exactly is are the hazards, whether safety or maybe hand tool, maybe designing or maybe lighting. So then you make a call and make a report on the risk assessment. What are the risks involved if you keep continuing this? So then you make again another report, and then implement the assessment, and which has to be detailed assessment, objective assessment, which has to be a detailed one. So what is the height of that particular employee, and weight, and then how long he is doing, whether he's having some problem, whether he's not having some problem. So so if he has some problem, so whether he has consulted, whether he has informed his HR team or something like that. So this has to be an entire assessment form. And now though it's very easy. Some software is also available nowadays in the market, which makes the companies, which makes this process very smooth. So before ergonomics improvement, before and after, if you see, so he is lifting like this, and just imagine what he will what he will do to his spine later. So what is the simple modification? So this has been lifted on this platform, and now he is not even lifted. He is just lifting at particular angle and then shifting to other place. So which has, because of this, fatigue reduction and output increase by approximately 5%. So if you see this before and after, so simple solutions. So in this, so there is no much of the cost involved. So companies feel key like, so ergonomics is very expensive. Ergonomic implementation is very expensive. It's not expensive. It's all about how we can implement, how ready we are to implement this change. So now again, a slide. I'm just giving you another 15-20 seconds. Just observe what are the risk factors and hazards in this area. So if you see this, so he is holding, if you see this, he is holding the mirror without the gloves, right? He is standing at this, and all the garbage is, right? Again, so there are a couple of, so all the bottles lying down. Okay. So although they have written, company has written, wear your PPE kits and all that for safety, but still people don't follow. Right. So BMW and all these big companies have, so they are way beyond ergonomics, and they invest a lot of work in this ergonomics. So they have installed this exoskeleton. So everybody is working and wearing this while working, because of this, all the stress, most of the stress, although he is doing bending and doing, but still the spine has been taken care because of this. So everything has been distributed. It's all AI based and beautiful. Very, very highly advanced toolkit, right? So although he is doing above shoulder work and drilling, he might not face, because of this fancy gadget, he might not face pain in his shoulders. If you see this, again, he might not face any of the knee challenges because of this suit. Again, if you see this in the cars, he's doing more than above shoulders work. So if you observe this closely, so these are very, very very advanced and very expensive toolkits. So so I think we have come to this the stage of the last a few slides left. So five key points to ponder upon, which is ergonomics help you on your job. Musculoskeletal work-related musculoskeletal disorders can happen in jobs with the risk factors, and the risk factors can be reduced, and workplace musculoskeletal disorders can be prevented. Provided a fourth step is very, very important. Employee must have, they have to be educated enough. They have to be informed in well in advance to report and signs and symptoms early, well in advance, whenever they feel. ये नहीं कि जब उनका पेन बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, then they inform their HR department or admin department and or maybe any HSC department, right? So they should inform their particular department, HSC department, so and so forth, whenever they face any of the challenges, the first initial stage, right? Next is you can only help your company, but ergonomics changes into place. If you monitor and if you actually implement the ergonomics into the workplace, then only this can be happen. Then only you can think of increasing the workplace productivity and your overall company reputations and company employee absenteeism and all that, right? So that's about it. I think I'm done. If you have some questions, let me know.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you very much for sharing the knowledge. Here we are concluding with our webinar. And sir, we have received questions from our viewers. Uh, so the first question is, ergonomics chairs are available online. Are they really useful?
So this is a very hot topic these days. So everybody's going and buying those ergonomic chairs, but that depends on. Let me just stop my screen sharing. Okay, so that depends on which chair they want to buy, and there are many other factors कि वो काम कैसे कर रहे हैं. So what is their job profile? So whether their job is more of standing, more of sitting, or maybe so what type of job they have. So having said that, they need to understand which chair will be suited for them. So I would strongly recommend, do not buy chairs from the Amazon if it's not recommended, right? So chair and mattresses are the places where you actually invest most of your time, most of your life on these two products, chair and the mattresses. मिनिमम 8 घंटे हम दोनों दोनों प्रोडक्ट्स पे हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. 8 घंटा सोना, 8 घंटा बैठना, मैक्सिमम टाइम, राइट, विच इज द बेयर मिनिमम. So that's how you need to invest more into those products rather than don't buy a cheaper one. I would suggest, अगर आपके आसपास कोई फैक्ट्री है या शोरूम है कोई भी, so there go there and then spend some time on that particular chair. Because अब जैसे for example, if I'm sitting on this particular chair, so this chair might not useful for you, or that, or maybe another chair might useful for you, right? So that depends on your comfortability. So that's how I would strongly recommend, please go and visit and spend some time before buying this chair, because chair is the most important part of your workstation, and on the long run it will be a kind of a biggest asset. So please, first is don't buy cheap one, and then so there are a couple of chairs which are available from like say 5,000 to 5 lakhs. So I'm not saying just go and buy 5 lakhs, but still go and visit and see the difference, what all other chairs are actually having. I think I hope you got the answer, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, the next question is, which equipment should be necessary to be kept in office setting to prevent the risk?
Office setting means like a sitting job?
Sir, yes, sir, sitting job.
Okay. So in which equipment? So that so one is you should have a proper table, and bare minimum is a chair, right? So if you can also have a kind of a medicine ball also, for the active sitting. So the problem is, so if you have the chair, you should be getting up from every 1 hour. So if you have other products, let's say big ball, plastic ball, medicine ball, so that is also very, very good to make your core engage and make you more active during your working hours. So table and chair is very, very important. Next is footrest is not required, although so there are other alternatives. For example, so there is an alternative for your laptop stand, right? But there is no alternative for the external keyboard and mouse. So there is an alternative for the footrest, but there is no alternative for the chairs. So alternative of the footrest can be, आप कोई box रख सकते हो, कोई भी stool रख सकते हो, कोई भी आप bricks भी रख सकते हो, और maybe pending files रख सकते हो, कुछ भी, right? So next is if you want, next very, very important is you want to, most of the time people are using mouse, or if they are working on the desktop, अगर वो laptop पे use कर रहे हैं, so they can use mouse pad or maybe a gel pad that can be rested. So that gel pad can be rested, can be rested on that gel pad. So this is again a very, very important part of your workstation, which is very required. Proper lighting has to be there, right? Coming to the chair part, if you see, if you can go and visit and before buying, make sure आजकल सारी chairs works, height adjustable तो आती है, definitely पुरानी है. It's an old feature, but the new feature is, make sure if you can buy a arm adjustable chairs. So this will be good for you. footrest, mouse pad, and then lighting, and then your table and then chairs. These are bare minimum. Yeah. Next question.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So the next question is, work hazards impact on person's job mentally. So after working from 7 to 8 hours, how to cope up with the mental health?
Okay. So mental health. So most of the time nowadays, some people are practicing is, so rather than making it 1 hour exercise or something like that. So I generally prefer doing a smaller steps. So sometimes I make simple notes on this key. I have to do a 1 minute of meditation after every 1 hour or something like that. Or maybe so I sometimes do, I mean, anulom vilom while driving also, like this. So this can calm down, I mean, your blood pressure. This can calm down your entire system. So that's how you can start. So the point is, आपको याद रहना चाहिए what you have to do. So for the mental is apart from meditation will be the best tool to remain calm, right? Drink lots, keep hydrating yourself, do not strain, reduce the screen time, prioritize your work. I mean, do not mix your work life to your family life. I mean, keep them separate. So because of this work from home, I mean, domestic violence and all these problems are, I mean, you can keep hearing these issues. But yes, we need to tackle this on our individual levels, right? So आप कोई भी स्लिप पे आप आगे रख सकते हो, डेस्कटॉप या मॉनिटर पे, कंप्यूटर पे, कि you have to do a 1 minute meditation. I mean, start with 1 minute, simple. Make it an alarm and take a 1 minute alarm पे रखो, 1 minute meditation. What you have to do is just close your eyes and sit down. That's it. And that's about it, I guess. So there are more than a couple of ways to reduce, like pranayam. You can start with pranayam. So reduce any of the avoid listening any of the news or maybe any negative news for longer period of time. So which will also increase the chances of your mental stability.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, this is the last question.
Yeah.
It is from a employee who is working in a safety department. He is asking for role of grips that we can. Means he has just written role of grips in ergonomics. Elaborate on it, sir.
Role of grips.
Yes, sir.
So I've already, I guess, I've already
You have
mentioned.
already covered, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've already
sir.
covered. So grip strength. So one is so there has to be particular products which are. So you need to, first is the product has to be ergonomically designed. If not, if the product is or maybe the equipment is not ergonomically designed, so you can educate your employees how to hold that particular object so that he is not hurting his wrist, right? If there is a pinch, I mean, very minute work, or maybe a heavy work, if they are lifting from wrist or maybe not in the neutral position. So ideally the wrist position, neutral position is this, not this, not inside, not outside. So similarly, if the products are not ergonomically designed, you should educate your employees to do certain kind of wrist exercises before start their work. So Japanese invest a lot of time in this ergonomic practices. So they do not start any of the work before doing any kind of stretching exercises. So be it they generally do whole body, but on a regular basis, 3 times a day, they invest, and everybody, entire organization does this stretching programs on a regular basis. That's how they can reduce the injuries. That's how they can increase the productivity of the companies.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, here we conclude our question answer session.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and giving your valuable time, and sir, sharing your knowledge to the society on World Physiotherapy Day. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.